welcome to Royally Unfiltered, the show that takes you behind palace gates like never before. Okay, I'm going to speed read some of these quotes to you, Dickie Arbiter, and I can't wait to hear your reaction. Prince Harry's Guardian interview. I don't believe that I aired my dirty laundry in public. It was a difficult message, but I did it in the best way possible. My conscience is clear. He says it wasn't stubbornness that led him to his book and Netflix series. It was having principles. It is not about revenge. It is about accountability. You cannot have reconciliation before you have truth. And when it comes to the book specifically, he says it was a series of corrections to stories already out there. One point of view had been put out and it needed to be corrected. You know, as well as I do, that so much of his book we'd never heard of. I did, first of all, I'd never thought about the man's Todger before. I got plenty of information about that in Spare. The physical fight between him and his brother. What was he thinking? I mean, you have history in the palace. This is reeking of Princess Diana panorama. Like, stop what you're doing. No, this is a huge mistake.
It was a huge mistake, and somebody wrote the script and he learnt it. And he delivered the lines because certainly Harry doesn't have the intelligence to write that sort of script. So he was obviously knew what was going to be asked, or said, "Well, you can ask me this, and this, and I'll answer the questions." You know, there's always a trade-off in giving an interview. You ask me this, and I'll do the interview. And he was well rehearsed. He was, I would use the word, duplicitous when it came to the book. He did criticize the family. He did air dirty washing in public. He did lie. And you go back even to 2021, that Oprah interview, they both lied. They've been shown to have lied in that interview. It was one long whinge fest of a boy who thinks he's entitled. Well, he's not entitled, and he should really stop whinging. Americans don't like whingers, do you?
No, not at all.
You want people to get on, roll your sleeves up, get on with the job, and if you can't do it, push off. And that's about the sum of it.
Did he blow up? Did he blow up all the goodwill that he'd accumulated through 4 days in the UK? And
look, those 4 days were well rehearsed. He put on a happy face, a face we hadn't seen in years. One of the reasons that he was able to operate so well is that Mrs. Sussex wasn't with him, wasn't there pushing him out the way and taking the first handshake, because that's what happens every time. No, he was on his own. He was in his element. He was meeting people who liked him, and he was supporting the charity. But when you saw him get back in the car, he had a face like a meat axe. So did he really enjoy it?
Did his meeting with the king, and you're a father, so you might be more sympathetic towards this than I am, because I was really irritated by it. Did it give him credibility at least even in the American media, or the idea of public perception? Did it give him credibility as for this royal return, should I say, that everyone was trying to brand it as?
Well, people are sort of talking about a royal return. I don't see a royal return anytime soon. I mean, what did Harry do at the end of his visit? He let everybody know how much he donated.
Yeah.
Royals are donating all the time. They never say how much they donated. The organization might, but they very rarely do. So the meeting was less than an hour. Were they actually together for less than an hour? Was he there waiting for his dad? Was he dismissed early? We don't know. Maybe we will know in the fullness of time. Somebody will talk to the American networks. I don't think there'll be a reconciliation anytime soon. As much as his father loves him, every parent doesn't want to see the child go away. My daughter lives away. It's terrible, but that's her life. But we're still very close. But so I would hope for a reconciliation for the king's sake. But I don't see it anytime soon. I don't know what Richard thinks.
Richard,
So
he says in the interview with The Guardian that his focus needs to be on his father, and it gives the impression it's too similar to his comments to the BBC about how he doesn't know how much longer his father has to live. It's so disrespectful. I mean, not just to the institution that wants to present this strong front and with King Charles. I mean, the man is relentless. It continues to show up despite this illness. It's very admirable. But it does feel like for Prince Harry to keep repeating this, it's almost, it jeopardizes that strength that the palace has built around him.
Well, firstly, I mean, what you just mentioned it again, what enrages me, firstly, he had broadly, and Dickie made the point about, a pretty good week overall. And then he went and showed very clearly that, as the Sussexes cannot remember, 19 months ago, he sees his father the moment he has cancer, he hears, and he instantly comes over. And of course, that's understandable. And he goes on Good Morning America, not to break confidences, but to talk about families and illness in a general way. Well, here at the end of this week, where I suddenly thought we had someone who was responding at least to new advice. He chooses the Republican Guardian to give the interview. I really cannot understand that. It's the mental attitude behind it. The fact William, who might all sorts of reports. Depends what you believe as to what William knew and whether he was available, knew that there was going to be the meeting of those aides at the Royal Overseas League. I'm sure the King wouldn't do anything, or would certainly not do anything significant without involving the future of the monarchy. But on the other hand, of course, I take Dickie's point that as a father, he naturally wishes a relationship with his son. But look at the way Harry blew it. I mean, there were several aspects to this that one sees. There was the Well Child Awards, where he always, with fighting with the balloon, with child was such fun. He's very good with children. This is the old Harry coming back. Fair enough. He talks about £1 million plus for children's charity. And then, of course, he goes to Kiev. But I really think to cap all that, and fair enough, there's a link with Invictus there, and it's high profile, and it's only high profile because he's royal. And then you cap it all, and you go to The Guardian, and you make these controversial comments. I think it's a disastrous thing to do. And I think it's also fed. I mean, you could argue William is still outraged for good reason. Well, now he's just seen Harry behaving exactly the way he did before, that there's no change at all. And I mean, I just think it's awful. But it's such an own goal. It's so stupid.
It is so stupid.
Kinsey, I'll be very quick. As a footnote to this 4-day visit, Harry has an anathema when it comes to the British press. He doesn't like them. He doesn't want them near him. Who covered the visit? Media of his choice.
Yes, yeah.
Not the regular royal reporters, who've been pretty kind on occasions, but media of his choice and his communications team. So he's managing the press. He's manipulating for his own good.
Which he accuses the British royal family of doing, manipulating the press and controlling the press. Wait, I have one more question. I wanted to ask you, Dickie, there was a report that the British government asked Zelensky not to meet with Prince Harry privately because Harry wasn't there representing the United Kingdom. In fact, Yvette Cooper, I believe, arrived at the same time as Prince Harry, and they wanted Yvette Cooper's meeting with Zelensky to be the headline, not Prince Harry's meeting. We find out, thanks to The Guardian, that Harry does have a private meeting with Zelensky. And I think, shouldn't the British government be concerned about something like that? Harry is not a representative of the UK, and he's not a representative of the United States of America. And is Invictus justification enough to take a president that is in the midst of a war away from war strategy to talk to Prince Harry? But also, how much of this is Harry trying to compete with his brother, who we saw side by side with President Trump all week?
Every time that the royal family here do something, you bet your bottom dollar that the Sussex are going to be doing something to overshadow. I think Harry's visit to the Ukraine was the political or the visit side of photobombing.
Yeah.
He was overshadowing anything else that happened, because all you got were reports of Harry being there, of Harry hugging war wounded, of Harry. Who gives?
And you know what?
Yeah.
What happens, Dickie, in 2027, though, with the royal family being asked to Invictus? Will the king go? Will he be represented? A huge question mark.
It is a big question mark, but you know, a day in politics is a long time. 2027 is still.
I think it was a week, wasn't it, with that wily old fox Harold Wilson?
Yeah, there could be representation of the royal family, but if the situation that we see today continues, it won't be senior members.
That's interesting.
There'll be a message. There might be a video.
Enjoy
message.
the York sisters.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to suggest.
No.
Perfect.
No, don't need the York sisters. Don't need anything York.
All right. Agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for your time today, and I will talk to you gentlemen both very, very soon.